Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, I have replaced the intro that I shot earlier with this puzzle because there is quite a lot of extra content going on at the moment and I do want you to know all about it. So, was it yesterday morning? No, the morning before we posted the solution to the Alan Turing challenge from GCHQ. That's getting quite a lot of interest as well at the moment. The newspaper puzzle editors of the Daily Telegraph and the Times both showed articles today showing their own how they solved it. So good to have got ours up first. Now, tomorrow we are going to be publishing the video of how Jovial set the puzzle of his that Simon solved about a week ago. That got a lot of interest, fulsome praise for the puzzle. Several people asking, how on earth do you set a puzzle like this? And he offered to record a video and he's done it. So we're putting that up tomorrow and really interested to see how that'll go down. That'll be on the channel. And on Patreon already today, Simon has posted an extra video based on the puzzle I solved yesterday, Thomas Snyder's excellent classic Sudoku. I had a decent start, then made a bit of a meal of it in the middle. Simon was fascinated because he went at it a totally different way and he's going to talk you through how he solved it. So I think that's really interesting. If you're interested in technique of solving classics, you certainly may want to look at that video. And I think that's available for $2 Patreons and above. So do get over to Patreon after this video, of course, and have a look at that. This puzzle is Crusty Sums. I've slightly renamed it from Lucy Audrin's original title. Really interesting puzzle. And I'll turn over to myself from this morning explaining the rules now. Thank you. And the rule set says that clues outside the grid give the sums of the digits that neighbour either the 1 or the 9 in that row or column. The solver must determine which clues are for 1s and which ones for 9s. And the order is given. So if we get 2 before 3, that means the 2 sum is before the 3 sum in that column. So they appear from left to right in a row or top to bottom in a column. Now, some clues are replaced with question marks. I think we're fairly familiar with seeing that. That can represent any number, the question mark. And there are some equals and an inequality sign. So in this row, the first sum is bigger than the second. So remember, those sums of digits can be either 1 or 2. There's a 4 here, and that could, I guess, be a 1 or 9 here with a 4 following it, or a 9 surrounded by a 3 and a 1. I've never done a puzzle like this before. I don't honestly know how it's going to work out. So do give it a try on the link below the video. Let's learn some new logic as we go, and I'm going to give it a try now. Let's get cracking. I don't really know what to make of it. I mean, some of these clues are, well, lots of them seem utterly useless. I mean, this one in particular, any sum and it's bigger than the next sum, that surely has to be the last clue we solve. These just, I don't know where to begin at all. This column has a 4 and a 5 marked, so and it's got a 10 sum. So the 10 sum has to be 2 digits. Okay, so, oh no, I was going to mark the edges as green, but no, I don't know. Actually, there's not many places the 10 sum can go, but I think in both of those it can. What I mean is the 1 or 9 that relates to the 10 sum can't be in this cell because that would have to be a 6 to make 6 plus 4 equals 10. It can't be here because it's surrounded by 4 and 5, and it can't be here because it would have to be surrounded by 5 and 5. It can't be on the edge because it would only have 1 digit. So, I don't know, I mean, what use is that to me? I don't even know how to pencil mark that as the 10 sum is the 1 or 9 in the 10 sum is in one of those. But the really annoying thing is I don't know which comes first. If I knew the 10 sum was first, it would probably be here. So this clue's pretty unhelpful too. It could be a 9 surrounded by 1 and 3, or a 1 or 9 on the perimeter of the puzzle with a 4 next to it. This end, that would have to be. Oh, look, the 2 and the 3. The 2, yeah, that has to be, and this is the first clue, right. So we can put the 2 in there and the 1 or 9 here. That must be right. Oh, and I was thinking the 3 could be a 9 surrounded by 2 and 1, but now it can't be because that would give us 3 1-9s in the column. So that has to be at the bottom end. Okay, that's a start. So we've got digits in the grid. I'm going to colour the 1 and 9s as I do for sandwich Sudoku. Let's make them red. Everything that can't be 1 or 9 is green. Yes, in row 1 we've got an 8. Well, we've got 2 8 clues. That 8 must be there since it's the only digit that can surround that. And down here we get one. Okay, so we have got a start. Now, what I've looked at suggests to me that the rest can't be helpful. Okay, this can't be a 1 or 9. How about that? Because it would need an 8 here. And the first 8 in this clue must be either 2 and 6 surrounding 1 or 9, or 3 and 5. Oh, maybe can I use this 10 deduction now? One of those is 1 or 9. No, I can't. Okay, let's have a look at this 17-8 row, because that's just caught my eye. 17, that's 9 and 8 surrounding a 1, obviously. So somewhere in this row we've got, sorry, not blue and grey, because I'm in the wrong mode. Something like 9, 1, oh no, then we've got a 9 surrounded by, so we've got 8, 1, 9, and then to make up the 8 sum, we've got a 7. So somewhere in this row, we've got a run of 8, 1, 9, 7. I'm just putting them in as illustration there. Okay, and they could be where I've put them, or there, or there, or there. They can't be, oh, they could also be there. That's annoying. Okay, well, I'm going to have to just try and, actually, what I'm going to do, just as a sort of cheat, is mark the run at the beginning of the column. Now, what do we get in this 413 column? Is that deducible in the same sort of way? Maybe it crosses. We get something, either we have 1 and 9 and 4 here, or we have a 9 surrounded by 3 and 1, and then the 1s, so we could have a run of 3, 9, 1, 4, or, I don't know, that's too variable, or we could have a 1 and 9 here, and then a 1 and 9 somewhere else surrounded by 2 digits that make 13. So I think we have to come to that later. Let's go back to this 10 clue. Yes, now, if it's here, remember the 10 clue, we don't know whether it comes first or second in the column, but we do know it's in one of these cells, the 1 or 9 that's getting surrounded. So, if it's here, it can't be surrounded by 6 and 4, or 2 and 8, or 1 and 9, obviously. So if it's here, it's surrounded by 3 and 7. And if it's here, it can't be 3, 7, or 1, 9, or 4, 6. If it's here, it's surrounded by 2 and 8. Oh, and that won't work for row 8, because this 7 clue, yeah, if we were to, look, let me just show you. If we were to put the 1 or 9 here, we'd have to put 2 and 8 in the yellow cells, but we'd also have to put 2 here for row 7, because that clearly is the last 1 or 9. Oh, is it? Yes, it is. We can't have a 1 or 9. Yeah, that's fine. That is correct. So it is here, the 1 or 9 that is giving the 10 clue. It's surrounded by 3, 7. The other cells in the box are green. That means the 8197 can't be placed there, but I think it can still be placed here potentially. We don't know about the other clue in this column, but we do know, oh, can it be here? Yes, it can, because 8197 could be there. It really is deduction by deduction, this. Right, this has to be green, because otherwise it would be a red cell surrounded by 4 and 5, and that's not going to work because of that 5. Ah. Oh, that's great. Yes, so one of these cells must now be red. At least one of those cells must now be red. And it can't be just one, because then 8197 would be in a run here and 7 would clash with the 7 down here. So both of them are red. Now we know where the 8197 go. That's great. Oh, that feels like a real advance. Sorry, 819. No, it is. We know the order. So this is what's going to disambiguate these 1s and 9s for us. So we get 9, 1, 9. We've got all the reds in this column and this box. Wow, that feels like an advance. I mean, I dare say it's not going to get me much further, but it feels like something has been achieved here. Right, that's a 2-3 pair. Let's not neglect some ordinary Sudoku deductions. 8 and 6. We've got 5 and 4 to go in the final column. Oh, so 6 must go here. Yeah. Ooh. Sorry, that was not intentional. Accidentally using the new feature. 6 there. This is 4 or 5. 8, 6, 9, 7, 2, 3. So these are from 1, 4, and 5. That can't be a 5. And this is a 2, 6, 8 triple. Okay. Now, can this be the 1? No, definitely not. It can't be surrounded by 3 and 4. So that is the 4 of the 2 possibilities. This is the 1, and we can turn it red. Oh, and okay, that. So maybe this clue will come into play. Whatever these 2 digits add up to are, and the second one is a 5 now. There we go, that's progress. These are all green, by the way. Ah, now this 413, what was the run of digits if the 9 was surrounded? It was, I'm going to pencil mark them in again. It was 3914. Right. Well, that can't happen here because the 4 will clash. It could happen here, annoyingly. Then, because this isn't red, we'd have to go down. 3914 can't happen there because both the 1 and the 4 would clash. Oh, but it could happen down there. Okay, that's annoying. Could this be, maybe I should try and rule out the alternative, which is a 9 here with 4 here, and then later a 1 surrounded by numbers adding up to 13. Can that be a 9? Yes, it couldn't be surrounded by 2, 6, but it could be surrounded by 5, 3. You'd get 5, 9, 3, 7, 8, 1. You'd have a 2, 4, 6 triple here. Okay, I'm struggling a bit with that. So I'm just going to leave those pencil marks in. They clearly don't go in those cells. And they may not go in the grid as a run of 4 cells at all, because there is the other alternative. But if this is a 4-cell combo like that was, it's going to run like that. And I want to try and remember that. That combination. Now this row, either we have a 1 or 9 here and 4 here, or a 9 surrounded by 1 and 3. No, that's not telling me anything. What about this row? I have noted that this could be a 1 or 9 if that was a 5. Oh, what are the alternatives? Ah, 2 or 3 there. Now that means that this 5 cannot be 2 cells surrounding a red cell, because say over here you couldn't have either 1 and 4 or 2 and 3. It can't be 1 and 4 there because it would be the first, well, it would be the second sum. So we can put a 5 in here and colour it green, and the cell next to it is a 1 or 9. And that is something learnt. Sorry, I don't know what's going on now. 1 or 9, there we go. Now the next one is a 9, so this must not be it, because it would need a 4 here. This must not be it, because it would need a 5 here. That's very neatly symmetrical. One of these two is red and is surrounded by cells that aren't 5 and 4, they aren't 1 and 8, but they could be 6 and 3 or 2 and 7. Now, column 1, question mark equals question mark. I think that means that the two reds can't be next to each other, because one of them would be a 9 surrounded by 1 plus x, and the other would be a 9 surrounded by 9, a 9 surrounded by 1 plus x, or 1 plus y, and I don't think with two different numbers you can get that to be the same. So I'm marking that green, which is, oh, okay, this can't be red either, because the question mark equals question mark would mean this was in the same two sums that were meant to add up to the same digit using a different complement. So that's green too. Oh, well, that was quite an important deduction then. I just want to recheck that this can't be 1 or 9. If you had a 9 there, the smallest number you could put there is 11. And then if you had a 1 there, sorry, if you had a 1 here, 9 and 2, 11 is the smallest. And then the 9 is surrounded by what? Yeah, it couldn't work. 1 plus 10 at the minimum. Okay, so that's good. So I think for exactly the same reason, this must be green, because if it's red, you've got two sums there and there that are meant to add up to the same number but use a single addend, which is the same. So that's green. Okay. I can't colour in this cell because it could be here, but we have reduced. One of these cells is red, one of these cells is red, one of these cells is red. Ah, and the 4 is not on the end, so it is a 9 surrounded by 1 and 3 now. Somewhere here is a 9 surrounded by 1 and 3, so this has become a 2. Good Lord. So now the 9, or sorry, I don't know which here, 1 or 9, is not surrounded by 3 and 6, or 4 and 5, or 1 and 8. It is surrounded by 2 and 7. I don't really know how to pencil mark that. They must go somewhere in those cells. Maybe I'm going to take out my 3, 9, 1, 4. Actually, maybe I'll put it in at the bottom and try and remember that. That is the combination if they all appear together. Feel I'm beginning to make heavy weather of this now. You may think not just beginning. I'm looking at this 8 clue again. I don't see that I've got any progress on that. Ah, this 4 clue is now telling me that the two reds come together. Oh, that's actually extraordinarily useful. That's right, isn't it? It's got to be a 9 surrounded by 3 and 1 now. That's green. And that's got to be these two cells, because we can only put one of them in box 4. That's right. Okay, brilliant. So that's 1, 9. These have suddenly gone green. one side or the other is a 3. Oh, that's how we got that 2, isn't it? I just didn't know which was which. Okay, let's get rid of that. It's just messing me up now. Let's put in a 3 in one of those 2 cells. Now, that doesn't tell us... it does tell us that this can't be read for this same reason. Question mark equals question mark. That would be party to both. Perfect. So the red goes here. Right. Let's get rid of the pencil marking. We now know this is a 2-7 pair with a 1-9 in the middle. This must be 6 or 8. That's all that's left for the row. Right, now I suddenly want to know what that sum was. What was it? 3914. I can still remember that. That could be in those 4 cells, but it's the only place in the column where that could occur now. So the alternative is that this is surrounded by 2 numbers that add up to 13 that don't include a 9, but they could be 8 and 5 or 7 and 6, which would be like this. That would have to be the order. But the alternative is that we've got this run of 3914 here. So this now has to be 7, 8 or 9, and this has to be 5, 6 or 4. I wish that helped a bit more. 5 must be in one of those 2 cells. Oh, this is reduced. It's got a 2-7 pair in the box, a 1-9 pair in the box. It can see 6, 5 and 8. It is 3 or 4. This is 3, 4 or 6, and this one could be any of those. Wow, this is a fascinating puzzle in many, many ways. But I still don't feel I've got very far into it, to be honest. I think there's a lot to do here. We've just got a question. Oh, we've got a 7 as the second item in this row. So that could obviously be a 2 here. No, this can't be read, actually. Yes, I think we've worked out that we've either got red here and here, or red here and here. So these are all green. So it can't be 5 and 2. So, I was going to say this can't be the 7. Yes, the 7 has to be a surrounding of 2 numbers because it's not there. And now it can't be 3 and 4 or 5 and 2. So it is 1 and 6 surrounding a 9. The 9 must be in one of those 2. No, the 9 could be there with 6 here. Surely it's something learnt, though, that we have to have either a 961 or a 691 combination. No, we either have to have a 196 or a 691 combination. I don't know if I said that. Right, this row, they're the same. This can't be read because it's the same deal. When you get question mark equals question mark, they can't be spaced 2 apart, or that would be in both sums and they couldn't both be the same. So that's green. Right, now we know, oh, that's green. But it could be 6. So we don't know whether 9 is in the first or the second cell. But we do know it's in one of those 2, and it's surrounded by 1 and 6. Oh, and the 1 has to come before it. It can't go 6, 9, 1, or the 7 wouldn't be the second sum. So it goes 1, 9, 6. That can't be 6 anymore. And both reds are in these cells for this box. because 1 and 9 are in there. So all these are green. This now has to be red for the column, so that's where the 1 goes. 1, 9, 6. Wow, this is a very intriguing logic puzzle. Exactly as I thought at the start, we are learning types of logic we haven't had to do before. Really interesting. Right. Oh no, I was going to say that can't be read for the same equality reason, but that's an inequality. Can this be read? Question mark equals question mark. Now it couldn't over here. Yes, it's the same deal. It can't be read because if you have 1 and 9 next to each other, you just can't make the numbers big enough on one side or small enough on the other. So that's green. This is red. Don't know down here, but that's now a 9. Oh, it doesn't resolve what numbers these are. And these two must be higher than those two, so this is more than 5. So that has helped. I mean, basically, I've probably used that as much as I can use it, and it wasn't the last clue, as I suspected it would be. Right. Now those... I just don't know where the other red is in this column. Right, now what about this column? So I've forgotten my combination of numbers that I was so carefully trying to preserve. Oh, it'd be nice. Oh, look, yes, I do know the numbers here, and I was just going to say it'd be nice to know what they were in row 6, and now we do. Right, we've got the 1 and 9, so we know where the 3 goes. That goes here. 4. So that can't be 3 or 4. That can't be 4. This can't be 3. We have 6, 7, and 8 still to place. That's a triple. So this is a 2, 3, 4 combo. Let's get rid of the pencil mark there. Now up here, yes, now the run of 4 cells that was possible included the 3. And now that's not in the run of 4 cells. It was going to be, I can't remember now, but it was going to be 3, 9, 1, 4. That's certainly not happening now. So this is red. It's got a 4 below it. These two have to add up to 13. So that's not 9. Well, obviously it's not 9 because it's green. So I still haven't actually resolved that 13, but we have made another cell red. So we can make the rest in this row green. Ah, yes, and these two add up to 8. They're not 6, 2, they're not 1, 7, they are 3, 5. That fixes this 7, 3 pair. Now we have a 2, 4, 6 triple up here. I love this puzzle. This is so clever. 4, 6, but it's really making different thoughts necessary. So, what columns have I got left to use? Not that many. I mean, there's still bits to finish off. Sorry, what clues have I got left to use? I've kind of used that. Just doesn't matter what that cell is anymore. These are from 2, 7, and 8. Oh, I still don't know where the remaining ones go in columns 4 and 6. Don't get many clues for... 2 in box 2 must be in one of those 2 cells. That forms an X-wing with those 2s, so that's not a 2. So I can place... No, I can't. 2 could be in one of those 2 cells. I was going to say I could place it in that cell, which would have given me that one, but that would have been a step too far. 7 has to be in one of those 2. Right, so I've got to use another clue next. Those 2 add up to those 2 now. And that's 2, 3 or 4. This one can be 2, 5, 7 or 8. I don't think this can be 2, because the most you could get up to is 6 and you'd need another 2 there. That's not really much of a deduction though. 1, 3, 7 and 8 to place in row 2. These two can't be 1s. No, that can't be a 3 either. How about this clue then? Those two could either add up to this number, 5 and 2. Can't be 5 and 3 because of that. 6 and 2, and that could give this. Or one of these two could be 1 and 9, 1 or 9. I don't know, that's tricky to figure out. In this row, I've just got a question mark. That's not going to help. That can't be 6. That's... Oh, I'm just picking around, not finding anything substantive to actually work on at the moment. That's dealt with. Oh, sorry about this. Oh, look, 5. Why have I put a 3-5 pair up there? That's just embarrassing. Right, that's 1 or 2 now. This is 1, 2 or 7. So that 6, 5 is resolved. Obviously 5s are a blind spot today. 2, 6 or 8 there. Oh, that has to be a 13 sum, so I get that as an 8 now. That's not 8. That's not 8. This is 1, 2 or 7, so we've got a triple. So this is an 8, good lord. 3 and 4 to go in here, so we know where the 1 is. And I can colour it. I can colour that, it's not a 1. Question mark equals question mark in column 4. So 6 plus 3 or 4, which is 9 or 10, can't go with the 5, so this can't be the 1. So 1 is here. And these two have to equal 9 or 10. Well, it has to be 7 and 2 with 6 and 3 below it. Brilliant. Oh, that's lovely. And surely that's going to do so much disambiguating that I might be able to finish now. I don't know. As I say that, I have no idea where red goes. I must know something about it. Okay, there's 2 reds to go, and they're on a diagonal because each row and column needs 1. Oh, and this is 3, 7 or 8. That can't be 1 or 9. There we go. So we can fill in the reds. That one has to be a 1 because it can't be a 9. That's all the red cells filled and completed. These can't be 7. This is for either 5 or 7. I can see that that is a 7. Maybe 5s will stop being a blind spot. Now they're all completed. Oh, that's become a 2. That's a 7. That is an 8 now. That fixes 3 and 8. That is a 2, 4 pair, so 7 goes in there. This is not, none of these are 8. That is 6. That is 2. This is 7. 2 here, 8 and 6. 3 and 8 can go in. I've got a 2, 4 pair up here. I wonder if there's a clue I haven't used yet. That is now 6, that's 8, they can't be 8. That has to be where 3 is. So I've got a whole batch of 2s and 6 and 7. They're resolved, so I can do 6 at the top. Now I've got deadly patterns of 2s and 4s. Column 1. 5 plus that equals that plus that. 5 plus 2 equals 4 plus 3. Isn't that a beautiful finish? Absolutely wonderful. I really enjoyed that puzzle. Thank you so much, Lucy, for creating that. Thanks to Discord for the recommendation. Absolutely enjoyable. And well done if you did that. Really good, really clever. Never had to think in those terms before. Very strange. Not like a normal sandwich Sudoku to me at all. But thank you for following along, and sorry about the 5s that I was missing up here. And anyway, hope to see you on another video soon. Bye for now.